Hello, everybody, and welcome to race number 6 of Season 3 NASCAR Walmart Cup Series. I am Levi McIntyre, aka Thrash Maniac 99, the voice of NASCAR Walmart Cup Series, here to welcome you here to the Auto Club 500 at Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California, just close to LA and Hollywood. So this is going to be a hell of a race. This is the oldest surface track we go to. This is an old surface, but it's 2 miles. Fun racing, but it's also very slick since the sun is beating down on this track, so it could cause tire wear here in this race. Now, the top 10 in points heading into this race, Kris Wascher leads by 9 points over Cassandra Renzi. So Cassandra Renzi starting to lean into that points lead just a little bit. Third in points is Cody Lamas. Fourth in points is last week's winner, Brandon Nichols, who is tied for fourth with Biggie Spencer. And the rest of the top 10 is Austin Weiner, Jesse Setti, Jesse King, Anthony McCreary, and PJ Williams. That is how your top 10 in points are going into this race. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a look at your starting lineup for the Auto Club 500 in Auto Club Speedway in California.
Imagine the dreams of a 13-year-old looking up at the sky, wondering how the world can be so cold. This kid wasn't sold it would be like this. At nighttime, wishes to be safe from this abyss. Cause this shit is something that can be dismissed. A boy born as a girl who is going through the stress. He's got a shotgun number, can't play for the team. His school won't let him even though it's his dream. Now he's sitting in bed with a loaded gun, thinking about blowing his brains out to kingdom come. Cause he's been bullied and teased all his life. Almost killed himself 2 years ago by slitting his wrist with a knife. I wonder if he sees the things I see for him. 10 years down the line, speaking at the forum. A college graduate up at the top of his class. The first trans NFL player up in the draft.
Pace cars in pit road. The front row is Charles Jackson, Alex Pedro. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys and girls. And Charles Jackson got off to a great jump, but Matt McIntyre, I think, spun his tires, and he held up a lot of drivers behind them, causing a huge pile of cars beside each other. And already we get a wreck. It's a big, big wreck, too. Matt McIntyre's in it. I saw Biggie Spencer, Sonny Hammond get involved. Dylan Young was in there. Brandon Nichols, last week's winner. Ryan Anderson Jr. got in there. So too did Jesse King, Kyle Matthews. As this was a big wreck. Dylan Young, I think he got hit again by somebody. There's Larry Hagan. Dylan Thera was in it. Rue McIntyre, Sonny Hammond. Henrietta Fitzwater, Matt McIntyre, who was up at the front of this thing. Already on lap number 1, we get our first caution of the day for a big wreck going into turn 1, coming off of turn 2. Took out a lot of top guys who could have won this race. And unfortunately, some of them are going to end up out. Some are going to end up not up to speed on the track if they're going to continue. But ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look. You're going to take a break, and let's take a look at a replay of what brought the caution out for the first time today here at California. Well, here's a look at it. It's all going to start right here with the start of the race when Charles Jackson got off to a big jump, but Matt McIntyre couldn't get going. He must have either spun the tires or he just didn't time the starting run right, but he loses a little bit of ground, and cars are just all over the place. There's even 4 wide racing already going on towards the back and towards around the top 15, but it looks like right there, Cody Lamas is going to get into Alex Pedro, get him sideways, and then Lamas comes down into McIntyre, up into Fitzwater and Rue McIntyre, and then all the cars that were up against the high line got involved, and then right there, Biggie Spencer, who gets into Matt McIntyre, comes down into Dylan Young, and that's going to start a second incident with Sonny Hammond among others. So we had two different incidents take place. But then watch Dylan Young. I thought I saw him get hit by somebody. Or does he hit someone else? Let's see. Oh, he just turns up and gets right up into Sonny Hammond. I'm not sure what that was about. And then there you see cars were going by right there. Let's take a look at it one last time to get an exact vantage point of where the contact really started. Watch the 15 and the 10 who are second and third. They all are coming down, and Lamas comes up a little bit into Pedro and then down in the 31. And then all the cars are up against the high line, although Seth Cole gets through. But right there, the 36 gets into the 31, and then they all get into it. And then Ryan Anderson Jr., he doesn't hit anyone or anything. He just got a little hit from Dylan Young as he was coming down, but all he did was spin the car, but he kept it together. There's Cody Lamas, who managed to drive away, and then there's side-by-side shoving between the 17 and the 28. I'm not sure about that. But that is a tough break for some of these guys, including Matt McIntyre, who started in the third position in the race and couldn't get going on that start, and eventually that's where some of the craziness started. But the contact was between the 15 and the 10. I think all the blame has to go to Cody Lamas because he actually came up into the 10, and that's where it all started. But that's a look at the replay. Let's take you to the restart. Well, after that first caution, we have 5 cars out of the race, and they are Rue McIntyre, Dylan Thero, Larry Hagan, Henrietta Fitzwater, and Matt McIntyre. Actually, Rue McIntyre's a lap down. He's still on track. But Charles Jackson is your leader. Second is Alex Pedro. Third is Jessica Shelton. Fourth is Ken Thero. Fifth is Nick Pericles. Sixth is Austin Weiner. Seventh is Justin Talampas. Eighth is Anthony McCurry. Ninth is Cassandra Renzi. 10th is David Rivera. Then the rest of the top 20 is Jesse Setti, Chase Oliver, Eric Enrage, Jordan Culp, Zachary Fitzwater, Seth Cole, Kendall Maynard, Michael Walden, Kris Wascher, the points leader, and Michael Norman. The rest of the top 30 is Alex Hawkins, Eric Burton, PJ Williams, Gabe Williams, Ian Siegel, Trent Dunham, Ian Dutta, Jecko Knight, Kyle Matthews, and Brandon Nichols. The rest of the cars left on the lead lap are Jesse King, Ryan Anderson Jr., Cody Hagan, Dylan Young, Cody Lamas, Biggie Spencer, and Sonny Hammond. And then the lap down machine of the 28 of Rue McIntyre. According to the car, it doesn't look like he has very much damage. He actually appears to not have any damage. I guess they must have repaired. But it's going to be interesting to see if he's going to be able to keep up with the leaders here on this restart. And maybe the 28 can get his lap back and get going. And Charles Jackson gets off to another great jump. And it appears that the 28 is not up to speed. We actually should stay with the 28 just to be sure if no incidents are going to take place here. And it looks like everybody's going to come off of turns 1 and 2 pretty clean this time around. Meanwhile, the 28, he's holding up some drivers. He's now holding up Alex Hawkins, and look at this, 4 wide. They can go 4 wide and make it work. 5 wide down the front stretch as long as they settle it out, and everything's good to go. Meanwhile, Charles Jackson continues to lead the way, and we've had our first official green flag run, and here comes Ken Thero to the bottom to try to get the lead for himself. And look how fast they're going. They're going over 200 miles an hour. They're going 203 heading into turn 3. Meanwhile, Ken Thero has the lead. Austin Weiner wants it. He's coming to the bottom, but I don't know if he's going to get it this time. Well, let's see. It's a drag race, but Ken Thero leads that lap, but Austin Weiner's going to have the edge on the bottom groove of the track. Let's see if he's going to be able to clear the 78 coming off of 2, and he does. And oh, I saw Jessie Setti get a little wobbly there. She keeps it together. Meanwhile, Austin Weiner in the AAA Ford. This is kind of reminiscent to Joey Logano running this car at the California race in 2013, the infamous / famous California race where he got in that fight with Tony Stewart after the race and got into that wreck with Denny Hamlin. Meanwhile, Austin Weiner leads. Let's actually take a look and see how our top 20 currently runs, as Austin Weiner's the leader. Second is Charles Jackson. Third is Alex Pedro. Fourth is Jessica Shelton. Well, actually, it's hard to even tell because they're all so together. It's hard to even tell who is running where. Meanwhile, Austin Weiner continues to lead, but Charles Jackson is starting to make a run and trying to get back to the lead now. And now he's coming underneath of the 22 of Austin Weiner for the lead. Charles Jackson still trying to get his first career points win in Walmart Cup Series competition. He won the Chase LCQ race last season at Talladega, but that was a non-points event, so that didn't count as a win. And oh, Alex Pedro! Wow, what a save! Unbelievable. And wait a minute, are they going to go 5 wide? They are 5 wide, and there they go. Oh, and Jessie Setti goes upside down. Jessie Setti was involved, so too was Ken Thero. And I would suspect Jessie King was in there, and Cassandra Renzi was in there too. She's the one trying to run down Kris Wascher for the points lead. And she might have gotten involved in this. Jessie Setti went upside down, but she doesn't appear to have any front end damage, just some rear end damage from obviously getting clipped. And she is still going. Meanwhile, Austin Weiner is your leader. Second is now Eric Burton. Third is Charles Jackson. Fourth is PJ Williams. Fifth now is Jessica Shelton. So that is your top 5 now. We're going to take a break, jump aside, and take a look at a replay of what brought the caution out for the second time today after a very good green flag run here at Auto Club. Well, here's a look at it. They were 5 wide between Jessie Setti, Ken Thero, Chase Oliver, and Zachary Fitzwater. And it looked like Setti came up in front of Ken Thero, and then the car goes on its side and got hit, I think, by Ian Dutta. But she was able to drive away from that. Let's take a look at this one last time. They're 5 wide. Let's see where the contact's going to come from. Oh, it looked like they just collided. The 78 came down a bit, but the 88 came up a bit. So they just got into each other. It was just a racing incident. Cassandra Renzi. Let's rewind it one last time just to keep an eye out on Renzi. Yeah, she gets a little piece of it, but she just got held up behind this, so I think she's going to be good to go. Ken Thero, I think, got the worst damage out of that, but as I say that, Jessie said he's going to get into an incident trying to slow down to the rest of the pack right up here. As they're all slowing down, Ken Thero slows down for Biggie Spencer and Cody Lamas, and Setti didn't slow down, and she gets into Cody Lamas. So while Jessie Setti could have been able to keep going, she didn't slow down, and she gets into Cody Lamas. So that might have affected Jessie's chances of continuing this race. She might end up going over the wall or she could be going with no hood. Depends on how bad the front end damage was done to her car. But ladies and gentlemen, now's a look at the replay. Let's take you back to the restart here at California. Well, after that last caution, it appears that nobody's out of the race, but let's double check to see if the 88 is still running. Well, she sits on pit road, and Rue McIntyre is actually out of the race. I'm not sure what happened to him. Maybe the damage that was done from the first accident, they decided to take the car and just get it out of there. But Austin Weiner is your leader. Second is Jessica Sheldon. Third is Eric Burden. Fourth is Kendall Maynor. Fifth is PJ Williams. Sixth is Zachary Fitzwater. Seventh is Michael Norman. Eighth is Charles Jackson. Ninth is Ian Siegel. 10th is Jordan Culp. The rest of the top 20 is Chase Oliver, Nick Pericles, Anthony McCurry, Jecko Knight, Kris Wascher, David Rivera, Seth Cole, Gabe Williams, Ryan Anderson Jr., and Eric Enrage. The rest of the top 30 is Trent Dunham, Kyle Matthews, Alex Hawkins, Justin Talampas, Cody Hagan, Brandon Nichols, Michael Walden, Ian Dutta, Biggie Spencer, and Sonny Hammond. The rest of the cars left on the lead lap and running is Jesse King, Dylan Young, Cody Lamas, Cassandra Renzi, Alex Pedro, and Ken Thero. And Jesse said he's still trying to get damage repaired in order to keep finishing the race for valuable points. As she came into this race, 7th in the standings, but she might free fall a little bit. Anyways, we are now back under green with 23 to go here at California and Auto Club Speedway. Austin Weiner didn't get off to that great of a jump, and he's got Jessica Sheldon right behind him. And now here comes Sheldon to the bottom. This is a battle for the lead right here between Jessica Sheldon and Austin Weiner. Meanwhile, Eric Burden is now up into this fray. Now it's 3 wide for second, as now Sheldon has gotten around the 22 and is now your new leader. Kendall Maynor, Zachary Fitzwater are all now coming up here into the fray. And we are still green and clean and green. And now PJ Williams is going to go to the bottom to try to get the lead for himself. And the caution flag is back out. But I wonder if they're going to race it back to the line. I think they are, so this is the battle to get the lead. And I think PJ Williams is going to get that spot. And it looks like he is, although Zachary Fitzwater's there. But PJ Williams has now gotten the lead. Let's take a look and see what the caution came out for. Kyle Matthews is back here. Oh, David Rivera was in this. So too was Seth Cole. Anthony McCurry was in this too. Looked like a 3 to 4 car incident that took place with McCurry, Cole, Rivera, and Kyle Matthews potentially. That's my assumption as to what had happened. But it looks like some cars are going to come down pit road. Some may stay out. It depends on how this is going to all play out. Meanwhile, the leaders are coming down pit road. And I thought I saw one car stay out, and it is Austin Weiner's going to stay out. This is interesting strategy on the part of the 22 for track position purposes. So meanwhile, Austin Weiner's going to lead, and actually a couple more are going to stay out, Alex Pedro and others. So they are going to be in the top 5. Now this is going to make for an interesting restart when we go back green. And speaking of the caution, let's take a break and take a look at a replay of what brought the caution out for the 3rd time today here at Auto Club. Well, here's a look at it. It looks like David Rivera is going to come up, and he's forcing Anthony McCurry up against the outside wall, and they just make contact, and they go for a spin, and then Seth Cole, oh, he gets pile driven by Kyle Matthews as they were getting held up from this incident that was started from when Rivera came up into McCurry, and that's where this incident all started. So it looks like Rivera didn't get as bad of damage as I thought. Probably just some side damage from the scrapings from the other cars, but I think he's going to be able to continue. Seth Cole, on the other hand, it's a whole different story with him. McCurry, I think, is going to be able to continue because he only got rear damage. Kyle Matthews possibly might be able to continue. So I think the car that took the most damage was Seth Cole. But who knows? We just have to wait and see what happens. But ladies and gentlemen, that was a look at the caution. Let's take you back to the restart here at Auto Club. Well, caution lights are out on the pace car, so that means next time by we go green. After that last accident, no cars have gone over the wall. Actually, Seth Cole and them are all going to be able to continue, which is a surprise, but some pit strategy going down as a few cars stayed out as everybody else pitted. Austin Weiner is your leader. Second is Dylan Young, though he ain't up to speed. Third is Alex Pedro, even though he's not up to speed. Fourth, and the only other car to not come and pit who ain't going to be up to speed, is Jesse King. Everybody else behind him did pit, so fifth is PJ Williams. Sixth is Kendall Maynor. Seventh is Zachary Fitzwater. Eighth is Jecko Knight. Ninth is Eric Burden. 10th is Michael Norman. The rest of the top 20 is Charles Jackson, Kris Wascher, Jordan Kolb, Chase Oliver, Ian Siegel, Nick Pericles, Jessica Shelton, Alex Hawkins, Gabe Williams, and Eric Enrage. The rest of the top 30 is Ryan Anderson Jr., Michael Walton, Trent Dunham, Cassandra Renzi, Brandon Nichols, Ian Dutta, Cody Hagan, Justin Talampas, Sonny Hammond, and Ken Thero. And the rest of the cars left on the lead lap and on the field is Cody Lamas, Biggie Spencer, Anthony McCurry, Seth Cole, David Rivera, and Kyle Matthews. So those are the cars left in the field that are on the lead lap. This is going to be an interesting restart because in between Austin Weiner is three not up to speed cars between himself and PJ Williams. And here we go, green flag is back out. And thanks to the help of those lap cars, it's going to help Austin Weiner get an advantage. But now PJ Williams and Kendall Maynor have now gotten around the lap cars. Or not the lap cars, the slow cars that got track position due to staying out on that pit stop. Meanwhile, Austin Weiner has the lead now, but PJ Williams is coming fast because he's got fresher tires than the 22, as the 22 decided to stay out that last caution, which is kind of a questionable call by that 22 team. Unless if a caution came out now and they all came and pitted, I don't know about this strategy. So in the meantime, PJ Williams is the leader. And we are still green. And when we come back to the stripe here, it's going to be 15 to go here at California's and the Auto Club. So we're definitely halfway through, past halfway, big time here. And we are still green. Austin Weiner, in some ways, the strategy is working. He's still maintaining top 5 position at the moment. He would have to hope for a caution to come out and everybody to come down pit road with him in order for this strategy of his to really work out to his benefit. Meanwhile, this is 3 wide for the second spot with Austin Weiner, Eric Burden, and Ian Siegel. Kris Wascher, who is the points leader and the only multiple winner this season who has won 2 races He's now up here into this battle. Charles Jackson's up here. Jessica Sheldon's making a stride, and also look who's right there coming through to get to second, Michael Walden in the 99. This is getting really racy, and these guys are getting to the 27 of PJ Williams. Right now, Ian Siegel is in second. And look who else is coming in up here. Eric Enrage, Jordan Culp, and Ryan Anderson Jr. are all coming up here into this battle. Oh man, this could end ugly in a hurry if something doesn't give. Yeah, looks like it's going to be good. PJ leads, but now Kris Wascher going underneath of both Walden and Siegel to get to second. Washer's trying to go for his third win of the season here at Auto Club. But Wascher didn't get off to a very good run on that bottom lane that time, as we are still green. Well, this is a 4-car battle for the lead. PJ Williams, Ian Siegel, Kris Wascher, and Michael Walden all up in here. So 3 veterans and a rookie are battling for the lead. Meanwhile, sneaking in is Eric Enrage in the 14 car. And did I see the caution come out? No, I thought I saw the yellow lights come on. Washer's just not able to make that bottom lane work. He's going to have to try to maybe get up to the higher groove if he's going to be able to get a run to get to the lead. Meanwhile, Ian Siegel couldn't get the bottom lane working to get around PJ Williams that time. And when we come to the stripe, it's going to be 10 to go, so these drivers are starting to run out of time to catch up and get around to that 27. Meanwhile, Austin Weiner, after staying out that last caution, he's free-falling through the field, so obviously his strategy did not work to his benefit. And he's scored in the 14th position at the current moment. Meanwhile, Siegel is still trying to work on that 27 car. Meanwhile, with that is happening, here comes Eric Burton and Charles Jackson all up into this fray. Still anybody's race. It's just a matter of where you can run your car at the best and the timing of your moves. And now it is 9 to go here in the Auto Club 500 at Auto Club Speedway. And we are still clean and green somehow, some way. There's Sonny Hammond, who is towards the back, and a few cars are coming in the pit road. This could mean green flag pit stops could take place, and now PJ Williams is getting bypassed by Ian Siegel, Kris Wascher, and now Wascher is the leader now. Somehow PJ must have screwed up a move, and he is now gotten bypassed, and now Wascher is the leader. But I'm starting to think maybe these cars are going to have to come in the pit road at some point. Let's see if Austin Weiner came down. And he did. So obviously, unless these guys come down pit road here in just a few moments, I don't know if that strategy is working out. But if these guys can come down pit road in between now and the end of the race, and Weiner stays out the rest of the time, then the strategy could have worked out into Austin Weiner's benefit. Potentially. He must have stayed out in case something like this would happen. But I'm thinking they have lapped the 22 car, and I think they did, so yeah, definitely that strategy did not work. And now here comes another hungry driver to get his first points win in Walmart Cup competition. Eric Burton, he is now underneath of Kris Wascher. Burton won the All-Star Open last season in Season 2 to get into the All-Star race, but that did not count as a career win for the 55 team. And now he is to the lead, but Wascher is making another attempt to get back up to the front, but let's see if Burton can use that high line to keep the lead. Well, I don't know. It looked like Wascher got a better run on the bottom lane that time. So Wascher still leads, and now here comes Charles Jackson. He's another guy who's desperate to get a points win, just like I said earlier. Meanwhile, up ahead is Dylan Young. I don't know if these cars aren't going to come down pit road. I don't know if they're going to... I think they may catch that 2 car at some point, and that could stir up some problems for the leaders and could shake up the race, as it's now 4 to go here at California. And Eric Burden's now back underneath of the 24. Let's see if he can clear him off of turn 2 this time, and there he goes. So Eric Burden back up to the lead. So Eric Burden clearly has a pretty fast car under his tank, or under the hood. But it's all about your timing and how you're going to be able to time the moves. And did I see cars come down pit road? Yes, there are cars coming into the pits, so pit stops are going to be taking place. Now you gotta wonder if these cars up ahead, if they're going to try to stretch it out, will they have enough fuel to make it the rest of the way, or are they going to come down the pit road next time by? Because I don't think they're going to be able to make it on this tank of fuel. And now Kris Wascher is to the lead, and he's slowing down. And Burton got around for the lead, and now Burton and everybody else are coming in the pit road. Depending on how fast those other cars were on that on the pit stops the lap beforehand, this could shape up for an interesting finish. And Burton, he went with fuel only in order to top off so he can get out of there quicker. And Wascher is right behind him. It's all about the timing of your pit stops, and BJ Williams is actually going to get in front of the 24. And Eric Burton, if everything cycles back around all right, he will be the leader. Trying to look around to see if anybody else... Oh, here comes a couple of cars who pitted on the lap before, Michael Walden and Eric Enrage, but are they going to be up to speed quick enough? I don't think they are, although they are getting around Wascher. But Eric Burden is your leader, and they're getting ready to come to the white flag. And here we go. White flag is out. Is Burden officially the leader? Yes, he is. Eric Burden is officially the leader, and the rest of the top 5 is Eric Enrage, PJ Williams, Kris Wascher, and Michael Walden. Eric Burden's got a huge distance between himself and Eric Enrage. But Enrage is going a little bit faster than Burden, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Even though they're catching lap traffic, I don't think it's going to matter. Here coming to the checkered flag, Eric Burden. After 3 seasons of trying, he's going to finally get his first career points win in Walmart Cup Series competition. Eric Burden wins the Auto Club 500 at Auto Club Speedway. What a job by that 55 team. Went with fuel only. Got him out fast enough, up ahead of Wascher and Williams and Jackson. And he managed to hold him off. And finally, we can say Eric Burden is a Walmart Cup Series points winner. What a race. And now as we take a look at the official finishing results. But oh my word, Eric Burden has finally, after so many second place finishes and close calls for him to win a points race, he's going to finally get it. The hard work is paid off for that 55 team, and Eric Burton's going to win the Auto Club 500 here at Auto Club Speedway. Great job for that 55 team. The highest finishing rookie, Eric Enrage, comes away with a second place finish. Great run for him. Kris Wascher is going to probably extend his points lead again, as he's going to come away with a third place finish. Solid run for him. PJ Williams gets a solid fourth. Great run for him. And then rounding out the top five was Michael Walton. Great run for him. And then the rest of the top 10, Charles Jackson, solid sixth place finish. Ian Siegel's starting to get on a roll. He finished last week at Phoenix in the second position. This week he gets seventh. Great run for him. Ian Dutta, even after getting into Jesse Setti when Setti was on her side during one of the last cautions, he's going to still finish in eighth. Trent Dunham gets a solid ninth place finish. And then rounding out the top 10 was Gabe Williams in the 10 car who won back at Atlanta. Great run for the 33. The rest of the cars that finished in the top 20 were Justin Talampas, Zachary Fitzwater, Alex Hawkins, Michael Norman, Nick Pericles, Cassandra Renzi, Jecko Knight, Ryan Anderson Jr., Chase Oliver, and Jessica Shelton. The rest of the cars that finished in the top 30 were Cody Hagan, Jordan Culp, Kendall Maynor, Austin Weiner, whose strategy did not work to his favor, and he's going to come away with a 24th place finish. Brandon Nichols, David Rivera, Ken Thero, Jesse King, Ryan Anderson Jr., and Cody Lamas. And the rest of the cars that finished and also finished on the lead lap were Anthony McCurry, Biggie Spencer, Alex Pedro, Dylan Young, Sonny Hammond, and Kyle Matthews. And the rest of the cars were out of the race, and they were Jesse Setti, Rue McIntyre, Dylan Thero, Larry Hagan, Henrietta Fitzwater, and Matt McIntyre. So Kris Wascher getting third. He is going to clearly extend on his points lead he had built over Cassandra Renzi. But congratulations to Eric Burton for finally getting his first official Walmart Cup Series victory. The next race we run, as I need to take a look at the schedule once again. Oh man, the next race is not going to be for the weak of heart. The next race we run is the Survivor Series 300 at Thornton. So that is the home of the Turn of Death. That's going to be interesting. Our first road course race of the season. But ladies and gentlemen, until then, here are your results, rookie points, and regular points.
Now this last girl or boy could even be you. You'll be amazed at the things that a person can do when they have enough drive and the right state of mind. Nobody's ever gonna even get close to your shine. So if you find you wanna be a doctor, a priest, an astronaut, a fireman, or join the police, be on the silver screen, become a movie star, or be a pro racer and drive fast cars. It don't matter the age, it don't matter the color, it don't matter the gender or who you love. If you got it in your heart, then go ahead and do it. If you have a gift, then please go ahead and use it.